3-1
I'm dumb.
apiece.
I'm so dumb.
Surrender to my will.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty fucking clutch. They have to go to 4, right? That's what it is? Yeah,
Correct.
look at that. Oh, that coalescence. That was big.
The power of destruction.
That was a really good call, too.
Yeah,
Well,
oh.
that's good. My 3-1 memes are still entirely intact.
Yeah,
As,
it's... Oh, sorry.
No, it just occurred to me. I'm actually not. I don't 100%. I was going to run this map selection process while 30 just took a quick AFK. I would have run the map selection process, but I'm not positive who selects the next map, so I'm not going to step in and do that.
The loser team, I believe, picks the next map.
They've played all 4 game modes now, so
Oh, true.
I don't know how it works with selecting game mode.
Oh, yeah, correct.
If one of these teams like assertively picks a map, I'll say yeah, probably, and then we'll let 30 confirm when he gets back. But with the way map selection has been going tonight, I assume these teams are going to kind of wait for some cues from 30. So that's good. That gives us a nice chance to catch our breath as we are, just over an hour and a half into this banger of a set.
Yeah.
HAREM looking good though, as we've had some heartbreaking losses for SDFK these last 2 maps. I mean, these have been close maps.
And that's really all you want and ask for is close matches. That's what makes Overwatch fun.
Yeah, you have to think when you've been playing close matches in really every map but one tonight, that winning 3 in a row is going to be asking for a lot. But at the same time, you think that, hey, if these matches have been this close, we just have to be a little bit better and we can do it.
Yeah. I hope that the last set is not close and it's just a complete stop. Whether it's we stopping or they stopping, I don't... Just to fuck with things. I'm purely about...
The BOL rarely has good finals. If I get to have pride in anything, is that I played in one of the only good BOL finals ever. But the semis, I think we have a pretty good history of the semifinal rounds usually being pretty good.
Nice.
And this match tonight definitely keeping that tradition alive.
Oh, it's just in. Wacky's to Backy's dad is 30, so that's some good information. Maybe a little bit of insider trading going on. If that's happening, we can...
Yeah, I wonder if 30's proud of his son.
Hey, you know what? You had a very...
that is an assertive no from 30. You know what? If Wacky was my son, I don't know if I'd be proud either.
Ouch.
You top 500, man. I expected more.
Is top 500 for Tank?
Listen, no Johns. All right.
I mean, for Ball, I should say.
Wacky's been very good this season. Don't get me wrong, but that's kind of a level of play that it'd be very difficult to match up to.
I think he's been doing very well throughout these series, and he may not be getting a lot of like the potential kills that everyone else is getting and as easy, but he's putting a lot of presence and pressure on any angle he's...
Wait a second, 30? Did you run an ad? Oh. Somebody just said something about the ads in Twitch chat a few minutes ago. Oh, yeah, I hope that didn't cut off the end of the last map.
3, 2, 1, and no, it's at the ending.
Well,
either or.
I have an ad block, so
I'm gonna tinkle.
All right, I will run the show for a moment while we are getting ready for it. Looks like Hollywood is the map. Is it okay? So loser picks any remaining map in the pool. So I guess I could have run this. Good to know. I wasn't 100% positive on that, so I didn't run that while you were AFK. By the way, for those of you that may not be aware, 30 keeps his mic muted so he can just give like production cues while he's running the stream. So if it ever, I try to make it clear that I'm talking back to him, but you will not hear him on the stream. That is a feature, not a bug. So we are going to head on to Hollywood just as soon as we get the checks from these two teams to both be ready. By the way, friends, you all have my permission to run an ad block on this stream. I don't know if we even get ad revenue, but if you want to support the stream, just give me that sub so you can have our shitty Swain B1 clown emote to go with our wonderful Swain B1 dad and Swain B1 30 face. I would much rather you sub than sit through godforsaken ads.
I'm back from tinkling.
Did you have a nice tingle?
I had a great tinkle.
That's
It
good.
went all out and hit the toilet.
Oh.
Inside the toilet.
That's okay. So speaking of our Twitch emotes, somebody asked, I think it was Dreaded earlier, asked what the clown is. So when we unlocked our first Twitch emote, I don't even know which Discord we asked this on, but we asked for somebody to design a shitty clown fiesta emote. And sadly for all of us, Salvo was the only person that submitted anything. And it was that god-awful clown emote you now see as Swain B1 Clown. And it was so bad, we just were like, all right, is to permanently shame the quality of play in these leagues, we need to keep this as a Twitch emote forever. And that is the beautiful story of Swain B1 Clown. I'm so happy Salvo was able to pass this on to us before he passed away. His memory will live on forever in that awful, awful clown face.
That story was just so good.
Yeah. So here we go. Wacky Tabaki bringing the top 500 style out. Torbjorn on the defense. As we got doing both directions. So spam me some Swain B1 clowns. Torb is the original Swain B1 clown in Overwatch. As here we go. Doom diving in, takes out the turret. The other Doom takes out the Senpai, as we have another one of these chaotic fights on the first point. But the one pick is enough to convince SDFK to kind of back up only momentarily, just to recharge a little bit of shield. Now Cthulhu and you, he has free access to the high ground here, as everyone's back on this point. Chris TPG finds another kill, as these are, once again, kills being traded. This is looking all right, though, for SDFK, but ooh, Wacky maybe clutching this one out, as now this is turning into advantage for the defense.
Yeah,
we're looking for more kills. Moira's both killing the opposing Zaryas, and then Moira killing Moira. And I think that is going to turn into a defensive hold. It was looking good for SDFK for a second, but it was not enough.
Yeah, so going into that fight, I mean, that was pretty, it's just a lot, it went back and forth, pretty hefty, you know? There's no deciding factor until closer to the end. I just thought of something. Nah, never mind. It's stupid. Go ahead.
So here we go, heading into the next fight is once again Cthulhu and you down first. I need a soundboard that just is me saying Cthulhu and you the first to die that I can hit every time that happens. Molten Load, though, really splitting this fight apart. Some very effective zoning is now Wacky. Finally gets a kill in the park, and now Meteor Strike going up, going down, finds no one, as you always expect, and Chris TPG loses his life on the entry. This is looking good for HAREM again, as the remaining 4 SDFK are going to start falling back.
Yeah, and just with the Doomfist is kind of going in and getting picks, it's not really solidifying any fights, even having easy picks up. It's just kind of like a messy splat, everyone's just charging into each other and hoping something good happens.
Alright, so we have to swap Chris TPG over to Ash, the first we've seen her tonight.
I feel like Ash Ketchum is definitely going to be nice, especially with the whole fire Molotov thing.
Sweet, could you imagine a fucking Ash Ketchum character in Overwatch? Like Ash Ketchum and Smash, you switch between 3 characters? That sounds like the kind of thing Overwatch players would hate. Oh, you're off! Oh, no, just kidding, they have a shield. I got my hopes up. I should know better. As the Gravitons are being traded, everyone ulting into shields. Molten Load into the middle of this fight, though. And despite all the Qs, we've only seen now finally the kills are starting to stick. Wacky and Glue, but each finding one. But it's a 4 versus 4 all around the point here. But HAREM, the one pressing W keys right now, mopping this one up, and they win another fight. And now there is only 65 seconds to play.
Yeah, both Ryans were able to play pretty nicely right there, holding their shields defensively for blocking off the important things we need to block off. Unfortunately, there was still no push on this first point to take that point. Hard time Jesus. Knowing how to right-click, it's important.
Alright, so here we go. 1 fight remaining, and we're going to finally see something different out of SDFK. They're going for this high ground here, as they are forcing HAREM back. A lot of damage sticks in this. Zarya will lose her life, and now we have advantage for SDFK. What do they do with it? Not much, because they trade Chris DPG. 5 versus 5. 28 seconds to play. Do they want to commit here while they have spawn advantage, or do they want to wait out their spawn and go for a full team play? Cthulhu and you, once again, uncontested up on this high ground with a nice slam, takes out Senpai, and now there's only 15 seconds to play. This fight probably going to be it. Is Bark down as well. HAREM just coming alive on this defense here. And now they have a big man advantage. Bob, can he do something? His mistress is down. The molten load takes out the bomb. Cthulhu and you, the only one dead here for HAREM. And you all know the drill on that. As this is looking great for the defense. The sole remaining members of SDFK just trying to touch this point, but they're losing their lives. Bark is being zoned so far back by HAREM right now. But that does buy time for some members to come in. They do take out Wacky Tabaki here if it can turn into anything meaningful. But Chris DBG down. Oh, we do have a wrecking ball, but ooh, a big hammer as Bark dies, and I don't think that's going to be enough. Sound barrier comes out of Kaluma, and that should ensure his team is able to mop this one up. And HAREM, would you just fucking die already? There we go. HAREM with the full hold on Hollywood.
That was much.
I cast this.
Clean. That was clean defense, Rakudo. I love it.
Yeah,
HAREM. They are saying that no 3-1 memes here. We are going to win this map hard. And now we are one tick away from the finals.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting for social distance to be able to hold this. I hope for the best for these guys, and I hope they can do it. I'd like to see another match because fucking over.
Also, real quick, I want to give a shout out to Dreaded Canadian, who, if we had done awards this season, which as far as I'm aware we are not, would have presumably been the MVP of the league again this season. He's been incredible. And Dreaded, thank you for the sub. I actually just straight up missed it in Twitch chat before. So I hope you enjoy your shitty clown emotes. By the way, I'm also getting word from Twitch chat that Salvo is not dead, which is good to hear because he's all right. He made an emote for us.
Incoming in 30 seconds.
I stand corrected. There will be awards. So Dreaded, spoilers. You may.
It's not an award for
Well,
most meetings.
we haven't done an award ballot yet because I haven't voted. So maybe I won't get a vote. Oh my God.
Please tell me there's no award for the most meeting.
What? No, 30's fine. We're good. So, there will, I guess, the awards maybe after the season's over. So that will come later. For now, we have social distancing from the cart. They cannot win this map. They can only draw. And draw out Disperse the 4 a little longer. HAREM, they have 4 minutes to get a third of this point. Chris DBG, good job, gets the first pick here, but it's going to be a trade. That's Bark. That's a big pick. Now Wacky down as well. Part-time Jesus down, and this should be good for the defense. And if you want to draw, this is how you'd want it to start.
That was a really good defensive so far. They do have maze walls coming in, so it's going to be a little bit harder to pull in this. However, HAREM is being like, if I sit in the back and they won't notice me, I'll be effective somehow.
So here we go. Maywall comes out. That is going to split. Oh, you poor little Lucio. Going to lose your life. Wacky down as well. This should be another good fight for the defense here.
Most likely be holding off this. No one should really get picked off. And it's going to be probably a hold. Oh, they're still going in. Now the Junkrat coming out with Wacky having been able to do a lot of shield damage, a lot of Maywall damage. It's just going to be quite... Maywall may not be as effective, but still effective as long as they're able to get the picks off as fast as possible. But we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. It's a lot of pressure. There's been some good Maywalls and some really bad ones tonight, so I like the excitement of never knowing what we're going to get. Because here we go. Coalescence is popped. We've seen so much of this Dragon Ball Z tonight. Ooh, there's a bunch of kills in both directions. Multiple members of the HAREM down. Multiple members of both teams down. Meteor Strike goes up, comes down, finds one. As this fight has gone at every possible angle, but somehow through it all, the defense is holding. As they actually were careful. They had to be careful not to C9 that point there. That got up to like 27-28%. Could you imagine if there was a C9 to end this series?
I actually can, sadly.
Exactly, I can too. But that was a potentially big slam on a part-time Jesus, but no, the team just not quite able to follow up. Chris TBG takes out the Reinhardt, and we are inching closer to that draw.
With gravitational flux being able to stop the team from advancing, that was pretty key. But now they have a Pharah. Cthulhu playing the Pharah.
Swap the Pharah Junkrat. I did not call it Wacky on the Junkrat before. So,
versing both May and Doomfist, it's going to be pretty powerful as long as they can utilize it correctly.
Yeah, they only have to win one fight. They have to be careful, though. They're some time away from a lot of their ults, although they could get a grav tire before too long. And some damage is really sticking right now. But, ooh, good job. Healers from SDFK. Keep everyone alive. Although the damage is starting to stick again. There's just the junk damage. There's a lot of damage coming out. Now your Graviton comes through. Defensive Maywall out of SDFK. Baptiste barrier down. Here we go. The tire is coming through. Part-time Jesus the first of all. Can this tire be a big one? It finds one. HAREM finds another. This is a pretty even fight right now. Once again, Dragon Ball Z on the point. This HAREM and Gluma coming through kind of big here. As now it is just one member of this defense alive. Moira, true to stuff, you have to stay alive for as long as you can. A great shift, buying more time, Meteor Strike goes up. Meteor Strike comes down. Meteor Strike finds Gluma. Senpai back, he finds HAREM. The spawn, the stall picks, they might be coming through. This is so tight here. Senpai doing some work on this Tracer. Christy BG, he got a few kills before losing his life. Is now Cthulhu and you up in the air, completely uncontested, takes out Otterbotter. And here we go, Cthulhu and you, going to have most of that ult eaten, but it still finds some kills. There are a lot of members of HAREM here, and there is almost no one alive for SDFK. They got the 2 seed, but it was all for nothing. HAREM takes Hollywood, and they will move on to the finals.
And that wasn't even a fucking stomp. That was just fucking like a long win. Again, these teams are just going at it. No disappointment on the matches.
No disappointment unless you are on social distancing from the card, who have had to be heartbroken to have played 4 maps that were this close and have lost 3 straight of them.
Yeah, I guess they can be sad.
It is a heartbreaking loss, and I feel for them. But I am incredibly happy for the members of HAREM. They have improved so much since the middle of the season. And I will say, coming out on top of a bunch of close maps like this, it really kind of forges some resilience for a team. If you have any doubts, to keep coming out on top of those close matches is great for your team as they head into the finals next week. So we'll see, can they hold up against just the massive barrage of skill they will face in the finals? We will find out. But that is going to do it for us tonight, guys. So we will see you next week. Baddy Overwatch League Championship. HAREM up against No Talk Wiyangi. I look forward to seeing you all then.
Stay tuned for nothing.